Welcome back to Cityline. Well, it is that time of year again, and by that time of year, I mean it is League of Women Voters time of year. They do an amazing job. There really isn't a word that's suitable in the English language to tell you what a benefit they are to our political process. I adore them. So please join me in welcoming Cynthia Stewart. She is the president of the League of Women's Voters for Tacoma and Pierce County. Welcome back, my dear.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. Appreciate it.
It is great to see you. As we've said, it's like, oh my gosh, I get to see you, and some things are feeling a little bit normal. And so normality comes from asking why and what. So what is the mission of the League of Women's Voters for Tacoma-Pierce County?
Well, thank you for asking. We have a little catch line, and it's called Empowering Voters, Defending Democracy. Our mission is basically to make sure that voters have the information they need in order to vote intelligently and informed. And so we do all kinds of ththings around that mission. And I have to describe those if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I think of the first thing that comes to mind is I think of people who have just moved here, or people who moved here maybe a year ago or right after the national election and haven't really registered to vote in our city. So can you tell us a little bit about how they would register to vote?
Definitely. One way to register to vote is go in person to the auditor's office in Tacoma. You can also register to vote when you get your driver's license. There are other places as well where services are delivered that you can register to vote. And you can also register to vote online. So the Secretary of State's office provides a way to do that.
I love that. In my opinion, we have one of the best mail-in ballot systems, par none. And if you doubt that, then you weren't watching the 2021 presidential elections, when all of ours, usually we get returned so quickly. And at least for Tacoma-Pierce County, we are so fortunate to have Julie Anderson and her amazing team, and your amazing team as well. Cynthia, 2021, it's a big election year for the residents of Tacoma. First off, if they didn't know it, I'm going to ask you to tell us what races are happening in 2021 and some of the things that we're going to see on the ballot.
I'm not sure about the ballot issues just yet, but I can tell you the offices that will be on the ballot in Tacoma. The City Council races, Port Commission, Superior Court Judge Position 23, Tacoma Civil Service Commission, Tacoma School Board, and Metropolitan Park District Board. So what they call the off year, the municipal elections year, there are way more offices than on the main every 2 years where we have the state offices. So these are really, really important because they're right at the heart of where we live and what we do.
Cynthia, will you expand upon that? Because I know that, you and I have talked before about there is a myth that the big national elections is where all the change happens. What do you say to somebody who thinks that?
Well, the national elections can certainly affect us, but the local elections have a much more direct impact. So take the city council, for example. They're making land use decisions. They're making decisions about equity issues. They're making decisions about what services you get at the local level. And the Park District Board, for example, is deciding what kinds of policies to apply in the parks, how many you have, how well they're maintained, and that kind of thing. The school board is obviously important. How we educate our kids depends on the decisions that they make. So those are really close to home, and really, most people say politics is really local, and we think so too. So.
I think so too as well. So what inspired you, Cynthia, to become a member of the League of Women's Voters?
Well, I originally joined the League in another county way back when I was in my early 20s, and I had 3 kids, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I really needed some intellectual stimulation. And back in those days, women weren't working as much. So the league provided babysitters, so we could go and just be free for a couple of hours once a month or sometimes twice a month to have good discussions. So smart, capable women. I then dropped out when I went to work full time, and I came back after I retired. So I really like the mission of the league. Defending democracy is really important to me personally. And again, we have amazing, smart, capable women in this group. They're awesome.
So how does one become a member of those smart, capable women?
So we have men who are members as well. Even though the league did not change its name, we've had men be able to join for a long, long time. And you can join by going online to our website, Tacoma-Pierce.lwv.org. Or you can contact our office at 253-272-1495 and ask for a membership form to be mailed, either way.
So once I get my membership information in the mail, walk me through it in terms of what is it, and then how long does it take for me to become a member, and what is the process beyond the paperwork?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So once you've applied, basically all you do is you pay your dues, and then we try to get an inventory of what you're interested in working on, and our volunteer coordinator and our membership engagement lead will get in touch with you and have a conversation about our activities. We have membership meetings, 3 different. Right now we're still doing them virtually, but 3 different ones to choose from each month. The programs are all the same, but there's multiple options. And those are kind of informational as well as organizational. We also have a range of activities that members can engage in, ranging from voter registration to helping candidate forums to actually observing the election, the ballot counting process. We started doing that with Julie Anderson's invitation about 4 years ago. And there's more, but it really depends on what you're interested in and how you'd like to get involved.
Well, I think there's something for everybody, isn't there?
I think so.
Absolutely. When we talk, first off, Cynthia, how long have you been the president of this league?
Well, I'm just completing my 4th year, and I was honored to be invited to be the president again for the next 2 years. And I am in the process of working with another person so that at the end of that 2-year period, she will take over.
As all politically responsible women would do, because succession is huge, as we know in politics. So in this 4 years that you've held this position, and we just got through COVID, what has surprised you the most about this whole process and how we've adapted?
Oh, the adaptation to COVID? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, Zoom has just been amazing. I don't mean to advocate for one particular platform, but I have a hearing loss, and it's really the best one for me. But everything from engaging in the legislature to participating in city council meetings. We hold our meetings virtually. Our candidate forums were all recorded last summer, and people can go and watch them later, which we haven't been able to do otherwise, except for TV Tacoma. And so I think the rapid adaptation to that method of communicating and meeting has been just truly amazing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we get to watch those forums and we get to watch city council. I mean, it has totally removed all the barriers where you can sit in your house in your pajamas and still be politically engaged. Yeah. To me, that's a win-win.
It is. And one of the things the league is doing right now is writing letters to the editor to encourage the legislature in particular to continue to do that even after we go back to, quote, normal, unquote. I heard that we had like 43,000 people participate in the legislature this year. And that was from Eastern Washington, from way north of Seattle to way south of Olympia. Everybody could get online and either send in a written comment or sign on or info or con for a bill or testify. It was truly amazing.
You know, I want to tag on to what you've just said because it is, you've captured it brilliantly. And that is, you know, Zoom has allowed us to really lower barriers. And the fact that I can be in on meetings or I can be on a phone call with 300 other people in line to speak at a city council meeting and hear what they're saying, I don't think there's anything better than that, Cynthia. I really don't.
Wow.
Before I say goodbye to you, I want to clarify something that I think is important. The League of Women's Voters does not endorse candidates, do they?
Thank you for bringing that up. I should have said that right off the bat. Our mission in empowering voters and defending democracy is strictly nonpartisan. We do not endorse or oppose any candidates or any political parties. Every once in a while, we get a request from a candidate to be interviewed for an endorsement, and we have to say no. We'll include you on our candidate forum if you have opposition, but we will not endorse. We absolutely don't do that.
I love that.
Equal opportunity for everybody.
That's right. And Cynthia, for somebody who is, I asked Julie Anderson this question, and I'm curious your answer as well. For somebody who is brand new and running for the first time, what advice do you have for them in general?
Oh my gosh. Somebody running for the very first time needs a kitchen cabinet to help them develop their positions on issues and make sure that they're well informed. And in our candidate forums, the difference in answers from one candidate to another, largely the more effective candidates have good, solid, informed answers. Others don't. So I would say getting somebody to practice with, to get out there and help you get your positions organized, meet a lot of people, but mainly get informed.
Yes. And, you know, there's, you know, knowledge is power. And of course, Ben Franklin, I always throw this around. He said, you know, bad politicians are voted in by good people who don't vote. So there's no excuse not to be informed given this platform that we have and given the fact that your website and also the city's website has so much to offer. So I want to say thank you so much, Cynthia, to you and your team for all that you do and for the ways that you help us understand our role in our community and our voice. The power to vote, I don't think we realize how fortunate we are until that power is taken away from us. So get out there and vote. And Cynthia, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. We have much more to come on Cityline, and we'll be right back after this quick break.